Let's look at the top headlines first. Counting of votes in 5 states to be taken up tomorrow. Voters were unable to give their vote freely in the election held recently in Loken Singh. Manipur turnout records over 89%, all arrangements for counting in place. And India logs 4,575 new COVID cases, 145 fatalities in last 24 hours. Hello and good evening. Welcome to ELITETV English News. This is Utpala. Before giving you the news, we request you to follow the SOP given by the government. Wear face masks when out in public, wash hands regularly and maintain a minimum distance of 6 feet between one person and another. ELITETV requests you to get vaccinated in time to protect ourselves from this virus and play your part in the fight against COVID-19. Now the news in detail. Counting of votes for assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Goa and Manipur will be taken up tomorrow. Election Commission will start releasing trends for all the 5 states on its website and app from 8 a.m. onwards. In Manipur, all arrangements have been made for tomorrow's counting, which will start at 8 a.m. The main contest in the state is between ruling BJP and Congress party. Most of the exit polls have predicted victory for BJP in the state. In Uttar Pradesh, assembly elections for 403 seats were held in 7 phases from February 10 to March 7. Most of the exit polls have predicted that ruling BJP will retain power in the state with a comfortable majority. In Uttarakhand, elections for a 70-member assembly was held in a single phase on February 14. The state has recorded a voter turnout of 62.5% this time. The main contest is between ruling BJP and opposition Congress. Various exit polls have predicted neck-and-neck battle between BJP and Congress. Polling for Punjab Assembly elections was held in a single phase on February 20. The state witnessed a multi-cornered contest between ruling Congress, Aam Aadmi Party, SAD-BSP Alliance, BJP PLC Alliance and Sanyukt Samaj Morcha Party. In Goa, all arrangements have been completed for counting of votes. Polling for 40-member assembly elections was held in a single phase on February 14. Goa Chief Electoral Officer Kunal told AIR News that the counting will start at 8 a.m. and the results are expected to be declared by 11 a.m. The counting of votes for 12th Assembly election will start at 8 a.m. 10th March with the counting of postal ballots, said Manipur Chief Electoral Officer Rajesh Agrawal in a press meet held at CEO office Lamphel. He further stated that the voting percentage got increased by 3% comparing to previous elections. Other than that, more participation of women and PWDs are seen. Thereafter, counting of votes polled in EVM will also start at 8:30 a.m. in all the 41 counting halls notified for the purpose. The counting of 19 assembly constituencies will be taken up after completion of counting of first assembly constituency in the 19 counting halls, where votes for 2 assembly constituencies are to be counted. Counting results or related information would be accessible at Voter Helpline app or ECI website. Moreover, the result of vote would be displayed at the western gate of Kangla for mass information, he added.
We have tried our best, and that's why I told you, in Manipur, this is the first time that we have been able to do webcasting and videography of all polling stations with more than 90% success. This is only an additional means to corroborate the poll process. This is not the mandatory means. It is not mandatory to do it, but it is an additional means. We already have CAPF deployment at all the polling stations. We already have micro observers at all the critical polling stations. This is only an additional effort we did, and frankly, this effort helps that in many ways, because we were able to tackle many complaints because the video footage was very clear, and we were able to decide on many repoll, the observers and the returning officers, because the video footage corroborated a finding. So this has been very useful, I'll say, for this.
BJP's true face would have been exposed in front of everyone if the election was conducted in free and fair norms, said INC candidate O Joy of Langtabal Assembly constituency. It is a big misfortune that in a state where parliamentary system of democracy has not fulfilled completely, BJP leaders are using militants in election, he stated in a press meet at his residence. We have seen farmers turning into beggars and the air was filled with their cries during the rule of BJP party, he further said. It is not even enough to say that BJP party is the party filled with only propaganda and advertisement. We all have heard about BJP using unfair means in election in the areas where Naga and Kuki people reside, Ojoy stated. It is a big disappointment that in order to win the election, they bribed militants with money and false promises.
BJP की सरकार सी प्रोपागेंडा की सरकार नहीं एडवर्टाइजमेंट सरकार नहीं सिन की सरकार नहीं वही दफा दमंगांग बगी सरकार नहीं सेंजाब तुमजा ना द हालेंग बले तब आवांग बता की सेंजाब तुमजा तो बा अरुंग मकल की सरकार मनी ऐकोगी अचौब प्रोक्सी तो ना वासी न किसान लगा BJP की सिंबल नतना अतई भोट नंबर या हंदबा लोइनना सेलुल टेपना फादना नमफुदा ससन पाइनबा साउन होने यासुदी cover द बियाम खाइना खंगबा पोने मराइदा कैसे मरे यन निगाय लेते कुंबा अवांग पोक भारत कुंबा अपिक पे स्टेट अदुगा भारत की पार्लियामेंट्री सिस्टम ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी ना सबसाना मराता बवालीबा लालहोबगी इरांग लेबा लमदमदा हौजिक सरकार फाइरिबा बीजेपी की लुचिंगबा लागा लालहोब कांगबुदा पैसा पीरगा मोई की अपाम डिमांड नगा की डिमांड कुकी की डिमांड पीनी है ना अखोगी लालहोब कांगबु सीजन ना अखोगी इलेक्शन द लालहोब कांगबु सीजन निगाय सीजन बा हाइबसे भारत की इतिहास ता अमुक्त थोकीद्रबा मधुगुंबा भारत की पार्लियामेंट्री सिस्टम ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी की इतिहास ता अमुक्त थोकीद्रबा तांगबा ऑनथोंना अखोगी कंडेम तौनियाई ओइबा भारत की इतिहास की अमुबा काली नतैगदबा राजनीति की तांकक अमनी हाइना
Voters were unable to give their vote freely in the 12th Assembly election held recently, said N. Loken Singh, President of Manipur Pradesh Congress Committee MPCC, in an exclusive interview with ELITETV. BJP's belief of winning 40 seats would be impossible to achieve. Their dream of ruling the government, winning more than 40 seats, can only come true if they consider doing the same thing that happened in UP, stealing more than 11,000 trucks with EVM machine, he further asserted. There is less chance of winning majority vote in the hilly areas due to the chaos erupted by NSC and IM and other militant groups in the recent election, Loken added. He strongly believed that Congress ruling government would return to Manipur along with other like-minded political parties.
Manipur Bidal Savagi election Manipur statehood Ephang Badagna Pang Thoropa election Singa Yamna Tonganba election Lama Oiki Handaki election Lasita Razamiamna voter Singna Apambada vote Pibagi Kudong Saba Dumadi Pankidre Hibasi Aina MPCC Prastela Moina Hibanata Manipur Praja Punamanga Aduma Loina Kankre Adubu democracy the di Gundagiri Tabak Sidi Kaya Mai Pakandi Aduna Maram Urakanda Ekoi Lakado Riba Maski Tarik Taraga Mapanda Ekoi Taramathoi Suba Manipur Bidal Sabagi, Hojik Lady Basi, Magi, Matam Loire, Aduna Maram work on the mask, Tarik Taraga, Mapan Bogi, Mamanga, Manipura, Bharatiya Janata Party, Nataba, Adumaba Congress Ga, Wakalol Manaba, Adumas Hasolamati, Soy, Makila, Kanabisi, Ikoina, Yamna Tazabaduma Sauna, Later.
5 of Janata Dal United members to camp in Imphal and help keep vigil in the counting process in Manipur Assembly elections. 5 of the Janata Dal United members of Parliament shall be camping in Imphal, stated Shri Afaq Ahmed Khan, General Secretary and in charge of Northeast Janata Dal United JDU. The party has written to the Election Commission of India to direct the district election officers, RO and AROs to strictly ensure that complete videography is done in counting centers by CCTV. Counting of postal ballots are done before the counting of EVM votes. New round of counting be taken up only after the announcement of each round of counting and adequate security to be provided to the counting agents, he further stated. If the party gets any complaints from the JDU candidates about any foul play during counting, the members of parliament shall sit in dharna in front of respective counting centers, he added. Students of Jiribam district appealed to give out pass marks to each student regarding the Class 10 examination to be conducted by Board of Secondary Education, Manipur, BOSEM, considering the hurdles caused due to the COVID-19 pandemic. They further stated that they would work by themselves for the remaining marks. People should recognize the role of women as one society can never be developed without them, said M.H. Khan, Additional Chief Secretary of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, RD and PR. He stated this at a function held today at Imphal Hotel to give respect to those women who are working as maids for Mahatma Gandhi NREGA in relation to International Women's Day organized by RD and PR Department, Government of Manipur. The function was attended by various maids of MGNREGA. As a continuation, M.H. Khan further stated, in order to build up not only a family but a society, women are taking up a big role in various fields. Therefore, it is a must to give respect and honor to women equally. Along with this, he mentioned that about meeting of the job card beneficiaries and interacting with them on 11th of this month.
We have assembled here just to recognize and realize that women power is there, which is very, very important for the development of the state, for the development of the nation. I give my best wishes to all my sisters and my colleagues here, from the lady officers, lady staff, all the maids who are doing their best efforts for the success of Manrega. The Manrega scheme is very, very important for the development of the villages, and the role and responsibility of the maids for that purpose is very, very crucial, very, very important.
Film Forum Manipur, along with Indigenous Manipuri Martial Arts Academy, IMMAA, Brahmapur Imphal International Painter, Konthaujam Michael Mete, and campaigner of free and fair election Manikanta Mutum, and infamous social worker Naba Nungtombam, helped out social and cultural activist Rakesh Naurem and his family, who suffered from a fire that broke out at his home, with money, food and clothing. Chairman S. Mangoljao and Vice Chairman Birendra Salam of Film Forum Manipur were present at the visitation at around 8:30 a.m. today at the village where Rakesh and his family were seeking refuge. Legal advisor Advocate K.H. Ibuyaima and worker Chungkham Ranbir of IMMAA condemned this crisis of burning down Rakesh's home. Chungkham Ranbir said Rakesh Naurem is someone who is very important for the society. He is not only a writer with different mindset but also a social and cultural activist. He is someone who works hard to save the art of the state. It is beyond humanity ground to burn down the home of someone who is as valuable as him and giving him and his family a great suffering just for the selfish view of politics of some people. It can be noted that Rakesh Naurem is someone who has always participated in arts, social and other issues of the state. just because he and his family were working for BJP candidate Paunam Brojain of Wangjing Assembly constituency. The supporters of Moirangthem Hemanta, a candidate of INC, burned down his house with petrol bomb. Stay tuned, we'll be right back after a short break. WMC is excited to announce that the third plenary session 2022 Delhi will be held on the 17th of April 2022 at Western Court, Janpat, New Delhi. This year's theme is Reawakening Our Spirit of Oneness. Elite TV is our media and channel partner. The entire event on 17th April will be telecast live on Elite TV. This event is organized by World Meitei Council. For more details, contact us on worldmeiteicouncil@gmail.com or 981-855-9349 or 991-083-6635.
Washing machine, fridge, smart TV, air conditioner, kitchen items amadi makal khudingmakki home appliances kidamak thoina waningai leitri. Kaisampat Kunjeng Hazari Lekai da leiba Mezo House Impalna ahongbu mamalda item khudingmakki up to 50% discount da offer pizari. Wedding set unalong matamdasu special oiba discount kayasu thamjari. Interest amakta yaudana 0% EMI loan gi khudong chabasu thamjari. Kudong sabasi mangan biraganu ngasi mak lingsin biraku Mezo House Impal Kaisampat Kunjeng Hazari Lekai.
Welcome back. You're watching ELITETV English News. India logged 4,575 new coronavirus infections, taking the total tally of COVID-19 cases to 4,29,75,883, while the active cases dipped to 46,962, according to the Union Health Ministry data updated on Wednesday. The data updated at 8 a.m. reported the death toll climbed up to 5,15,355 with 145 fresh fatalities. The active cases comprise 0.11% of the total infections, while the national COVID-19 recovery rate further improved to 98.69%, the ministry informed. The number of people who have recuperated from the disease surged to 4,24,13,566, and the case fatality rate was recorded as 1.20%. The daily positivity rate was recorded as 0.51%, while the weekly positivity rate was at 0.62%. The cumulative doses administered in the country so far under the nationwide COVID-19 vaccination drive has exceeded 179.33 crore. First, Wangkhem Joy Singh Memorial Under 14 Boys and Girls 6A Side State Level Hockey Tournament under the observation of Manipur Hockey will be held on 25th of this month, stated Maibam Sudarsh, convener of Hockey Union, today in a press release. Interested clubs and other hockey organizations can contact them and collect the details, the release stated. International flights to and from India will resume from 27th of March. The Civil Aviation Ministry has suspended the regular international flights in March 2020 in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. The ministry said that after recognizing the increased vaccination coverage across the globe and in consultation with the stakeholders, the government has decided to resume scheduled commercial international passenger services to and from India from the 27th of this month. More than 2 decades after the infamous hijacking of Indian Airlines flight IC-814, family of victim Rupin Katyal finally got justice after hijacker Mystery Zahur Ibrahim, also known as Jamali, was gunned down in Karachi in Pakistan by unidentified gunmen on March 1st. With the killing of Ibrahim, only 2 out of 5 Jaish-e-Mohammed hijackers are alive in Pakistan, including Ibrahim Azhar, elder brother of Masood Azhar, and Rauf Asghar, the 2 kingpins of the globally designated terrorist group. 25-year-old Rupin Katyal was brutally murdered by Zahur Mystery on December 25, 1999, using a sharp instrument and his body was retrieved from the hijacked plane in UAE. He, along with his wife, were returning to Delhi after honeymoon in Kathmandu on that fateful day. According to counter-terrorism experts, only Ibrahim Azhar and Shahid Akhtar Syed are alive in Pakistan, with the latter moving away from Karachi to relative protection of lawless Khyber Pakhtunkhwa area of Pakistan. It is understood that while one of the hijackers died due to natural causes, another was killed by Indian security forces during the December 13, 2001 attack on Parliament by the same Sunni jihadist group with Deobandi ideology. It is understood that the funeral of Zahur Mistry was attended by senior leaders of JEM Group, which is headquartered in Bahawalpur in Pakistan's Punjab province. Masood Azhar, Omar Said Sheikh, both then affiliated to Harkat ul Ansar group, and a Kashmiri terrorist Mushtaq Ahmad Zargar were released by the Indian government on December 31, 1999 in Kandahar under the watch of the then Taliban terror regime. After being released, Azhar met then Taliban chief Mullah Omar and then crossed over to Pakistan via Spinbolda crossing in Quetta. The Jaish-e-Mohammed terror group was formed by Masood Azhar on his return to Pakistan and immediately wreaked vengeance by attacking the Srinagar Secretariat in October 2001 and Indian Parliament on December 13, 2001. He also launched a Fidain or suicide attack on Ram Janmabhoomi Temple in 2005, but the attack was unsuccessful, or else it would have caused massive communal conflagration in UP. It is pertinent to recall that the entire West, including its media, advised military restraint to India after IC 814 hijacking and Parliament attack without sanctioning Pakistan for launching these terror attacks. MEA External Affairs Ministry has stated that all Indian students stranded at Sumy city of Ukraine have been successfully moved out. In a tweet, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bakshi said India has moved out all Indian students from Sumy. He tweeted that they are currently en route to Poltava, from where they will board trains to western Ukraine. He further added flights under Operation Ganga are being prepared to bring them home. At least 10 people have died in a Russian military attack in Ukraine's Severodonetsk city, according to reports. This comes as Ukraine's war with Russia entered day 14. Several key cities in Ukraine have witnessed relentless shelling as Moscow escalated its military aggression with eyes on the capital city of Kiev. The foreign ministers of Russia and Ukraine are scheduled to meet this week in Turkey after talks held earlier failed to resolve the conflict. But the invading force of more than 150,000 troops retains large and possibly decisive advantages in firepower as they bear down on key cities. The Pentagon on Tuesday estimated that Russia retains about 95% of the combat power it has deployed in Ukraine, accounting for weapons and vehicles destroyed or made inoperable, as well as troops killed and wounded. Those losses, while modest at first glance, are significant for 2 weeks of fighting. 2 weeks of war has created a humanitarian crisis in Ukraine that has accelerated in recent days. The United Nations estimates that 2 million Ukrainians have fled their country, and the number is expected to grow. For ELITETV News, contact the email address info@elitetv.in or 940-289-0982 and subscribe to ELITETV YouTube channel, or follow us on Facebook page, Instagram and Twitter for more information about the channel. Before we wind up for the day, let's look at the headlines once again. Counting of votes in 5 states to be taken up tomorrow. Voters were unable to give their vote freely in the election held recently in Loken Singh. Manipur turnout records over 89%, all arrangements for counting in place. And India logs 4,575 new COVID cases, 145 fatalities in the last 24 hours. That's all we have for today. Thank you for watching ELITETV English News. Stay safe and have a great evening.